The arena went silent. 20,000 people holding their breath. On the mat, a Filipino fighter named Miguel stood face to face with the undefeated champion. The champion smiled, cold, cruel. He whispered something only Miguel could hear. And in that moment, everything changed. But let me take you back. Before we talk about that night, before we talk about that moment, let me tell you about Miguel. Miguel wasn't born into money. He wasn't born into fame. He was born in a small town in Bulacan, a place where most people knew your name, your family, your struggles. His father worked construction. His mother sold food at the market. They didn't have much, but they had each other. Miguel grew up watching his father come home every night. Dirt on his hands, exhaustion in his eyes. But his father never complained. "Anak," he would say, "hard work is our inheritance. It's all we have, so we give it our best." Miguel carried those words his whole life. When he was 12, he started training in a small gym near their house. The walls were cracked. The equipment was old. The mats smelled like sweat and dreams. But to Miguel, it was everything. He didn't train because he wanted to be famous. He trained because he wanted to make his parents proud. He trained because every punch, every kick, every drop of sweat was a promise. "I will lift us out of this." By the time Miguel was 25, he had become one of the best Filipino MMA fighters in the country. He wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the loudest, but he had heart, and everyone who watched him fight could feel it. Then came the announcement, an international MMA tournament, the biggest in Asia. Fighters from all over the world, Japan, Thailand, Korea, Russia, America, and the champion? A fighter named Victor Kozlov, undefeated. 30 wins, 0 losses. He was a machine, 6'3", 220 pounds of pure power. But it wasn't just his strength that made him dangerous. It was his arrogance. In every interview, Victor would talk down on fighters from smaller countries. He called them weak. He called them predictable. And when a reporter asked him about Filipino fighters, he laughed. "Filipinos?" he said, smirking. "They have heart, sure. But heart doesn't win fights, power does. Technique does, and they don't have enough of either." The video went viral. Filipinos everywhere were furious. Miguel saw it too. He was sitting in his small apartment, phone in hand, watching Victor's face fill the screen. His jaw tightened. His mother, who was cooking in the kitchen, noticed. "Anak, ano yan?" she asked softly. Miguel didn't answer right away. He just kept watching, over and over. Filipinos are weak. Finally, he looked up. "Ma," he said quietly, "I'm going to fight him." His mother's face went pale. "Miguel, that man is dangerous." "I know. He's undefeated." "I know." She walked over, placed her hand on his shoulder. "Then why?" Miguel looked her in the eyes. "Because if I don't, who will?" The announcement came a week later. Miguel had been selected to represent the Philippines in the tournament. The news spread fast. People were excited, proud, but also scared. They had seen what Victor did to his opponents. Broken bones, knockouts, brutality. Miguel's training became intense. Every morning he woke up at 4 a.m., running, sparring, drilling, repeat. His coach, Mang Andoy, was an old fighter himself. Scarred hands, wise eyes. "Miguel," he said one evening after training, "you can't fight him with anger." "I'm not angry, coach." "Yes, you are. I see it. Every punch you throw, I see it." Miguel stopped, breathing hard. Mang Andoy stepped closer. "Anger will make you reckless, and reckless fighters lose. Then what do I fight with?" The old man smiled. "Purpose." Miguel didn't fully understand. Not yet, but he would. The weeks passed. The tournament drew closer, and the pressure grew heavier. Social media was brutal. Some people supported Miguel, called him a hero, a warrior, but others, they called him foolish. He's going to get destroyed. Victor will break him in two. Why even try? Miguel saw the comments. He read them all, every single one, and each one added weight to his chest. One night he couldn't sleep. He sat outside his apartment looking up at the stars. His father came out, sat beside him. They didn't speak for a while. Then his father said, "You afraid?" Miguel nodded. "Good." Miguel looked at him, confused. His father smiled, a sad, gentle smile. "Fear means you care. It means this matters. Don't run from it, anak. Use it." Miguel's throat tightened. "What if I lose, Tatay?" His father put a hand on his son's back. "Then you lose standing up, fighting, giving everything. And that is still honor." Miguel's eyes burned with tears he refused to let fall. He nodded, and in that silence, he found his resolve. The tournament began. Miguel's first fight, a knockout in the second round. His second fight, submission. First round, people started paying attention. The underdog from the Philippines was advancing, and so was Victor. He was destroying everyone in his path. No mercy, no hesitation. It was clear. They were going to meet in the finals. The night before the final match, Miguel couldn't eat. His stomach was in knots. He sat alone in his hotel room, staring at his hands. These hands had worked in the fields. These hands had helped his mother carry bags from the market. These hands had held his father when he cried after losing his job. And now, these hands were preparing for something bigger than just a match. A quiet knock at the door. Mang Andoy stepped inside and took a seat. He looked at Miguel and asked calmly, "Are you ready?" Miguel hesitated. "I don't know if I can win, coach." Mang Andoy didn't soften his words. "Maybe you won't." Miguel looked up, surprised. "But that's not the point," the coach continued. "The point is that you show up. You stand tall. You remind the world what a Filipino fighter represents." Miguel listened closely. "Not because we're the biggest," Mang Andoy said. "Not because we're the strongest, but because we don't give up. We keep going, no matter what." Something changed inside Miguel. Not confidence, not pride, but clarity. He wasn't stepping forward out of anger. He wasn't trying to silence critics. He was stepping forward for everyone who had been underestimated. For those told they were too small, too weak, too poor. For his parents. For his country, for himself. The arena was full, thousands of voices. Flags in the air, drums echoing through the space. As Miguel walked out, the crowd erupted, chanting his name. He didn't celebrate, didn't pose. He walked with focus and calm. Then came Victor, bright lights, loud music, confidence bordering on arrogance. They stood facing each other as the official explained the rules. Victor leaned in and whispered something meant to distract him. Miguel stayed still, calm, unshaken. The signal sounded. Victor pushed forward with intensity. Miguel stayed light on his feet, moving, reading, responding with precision. The first round ended. Victor looked frustrated. The pace increased. Mistakes began to show. Miguel stayed disciplined. Every movement had purpose. The crowd reacted to every shift, every moment. As the final moments approached, Miguel saw an opening. He stayed composed, controlled the situation, and turned the momentum in his favor. Seconds later, the official stepped in. The match was over. Miguel stood still, breathing deeply. The noise around him fading. He had done it, not with arrogance, not with force alone, but with heart, with discipline, with purpose. Miguel had won. The arena exploded, people screaming, crying, jumping. Miguel stood up slowly. He didn't run around the cage. He didn't scream. He just stood there, breathing, tears rolling down his face. He dropped to his knees, looked up, and whispered, "Tatay, Ma, we did it." The world watched. The underdog from the Philippines had defeated the undefeated champion. Not with trash talk, not with arrogance, but with heart, strategy, discipline. In the post-fight interview, the reporter asked, "Miguel, how does it feel?" Miguel smiled, exhausted, emotional. "It feels like I did what I came here to do." "What do you want to say to Victor?" Miguel paused. "I respect him. He's a great fighter, but tonight wasn't about him. It was about everyone back home who needed to see that we belong here. That we're not weak, we're warriors." The crowd roared. Back in the Philippines, people flooded the streets. Strangers hugged. Families cried. In Bulacan, in that small house, Miguel's parents held each other. His father wept. His mother whispered prayers of thanks. Their son had done it, not just for himself, but for all of them. Miguel's story reminds us of something powerful. It's not about where you come from. It's not about how big you are, or how loud you talk. It's about what's inside, your heart, your discipline, your purpose. When the world underestimates you, when they call you weak, when they say you don't belong, you don't argue with words. You show them, one move at a time, one fight at a time, one moment of courage that changes everything. Miguel didn't just win a fight that night. He reminded the world what it means to be Filipino, to rise, to endure, to fight with honor, and to never, ever give up. So I'll ask you one more time, where are you watching from? Drop a comment, share this story, and remember, no matter where you are, no matter what you're facing, you are stronger than you think, mabuhay. Thank you for being here, for listening to Miguel's story, for taking the time to feel it with me. Stories like this, they matter, because they remind us who we are, where we come from, and what we're capable of. Here at Philippines Wealth Chronicles, I share stories like Miguel's, stories of Filipinos who faced the impossible and found a way. Not because they were perfect, but because they refused to quit. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of your own fight, your own struggle, then maybe you'll want to hear more. There are more stories coming, more voices that need to be heard, and I'd love for you to be part of that journey. So if you feel called to, stick around. New stories drop every week, and who knows, maybe the next one will be exactly what you need to hear. Until then, keep fighting your fight, keep believing in yourself. And remember, you are not weak. You are not small. You are Filipino. And that means everything. Salamat. Hanggang sa muli. Mabuhay!